वेलकम गाइस। आज हमारे शो में एक बहुत बड़ी शख्सियत आई है। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मैं आपको उनका इंट्रोडक्शन करके रखता हूँ। तो मिस्टर ऋषि नंदा सर, जो खुद बहुत बड़े माइथोलॉजिस्ट है, स्पिरिचुअल स्पीकर है, मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर है। सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक यू सर फॉर गिविंग अस अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर द इंटरव्यू सर। या सर सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल सर, फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन आपको ये है कि थोड़ा सा आपके बारे में इंट्रोडक्शन दीजिए यूथ के लिए। एंड आपने अभी जो आप मुकाम पे आए हो, तो उसके लिए आने के लिए आपको स्ट्रगल करना होगा, थोड़े बहुत चैलेंजेस प्रॉब्लम फेस किया। सो सर वी वांट टू नो अबाउट दैट challenges.
Okay. So, see, I'm born and brought up in Mumbai, okay, and then did my MBA, just as most of the people do.
Yes.
I got a job placement in a bank. Then I was in the banking industry for 10 years. I was blessed with a daughter. At that time, I thought to do something bigger and something different in life.
Yes.
And then सोचने लग गया करना क्या है. One thought led to another thought, another, and then I realized that the only thing that is stopping me from doing something of my own, something bigger that I want to do for myself was my job. Because that was the biggest thing. एक सर्विस गाय को जॉब छोड़ना, it's a big challenge.
Yeah, it is a big challenge.
And especially when you're doing good, because I was heading Bombay for a NBFC. You know, I was heading the sales department. I was also part of the collection and processes. So the first thing I did was faced my fear. I put down my papers, having no plan in life. So it was like more like a hippie journey. सोचा देखा जाएगा, जो होएगा कर लेंगे, मैक्स टू मैक्स क्या होएगा. अगर नहीं चला, कुछ नहीं समझा, तो again I'll go back to my service. But because that was the biggest step for me. And the first step is usually the hardest and the toughest.
Yeah.
And my philosophy is when success is the only option now, you're successful only then. Because till the time I've got more and more options in my life, I'll never be successful. Because I'll keep giving myself a lot of excuses. कि ये reason है, वो reason है, पगार टाइम पे आती है, इंसेंटिव मिल जाता है, फॉरेन ट्रिप जाने को मिल रहा है, एवरीथिंग इज गोइंग गुड एंड फाइन.
मतलब सर आप कॉर्पोरेट लेवल में बहुत बड़ी हायर पोजीशन पे थे, वो छोड़ के आप
हाँ, सो मोर लाइक मिडिल मैनेजमेंट, अपर मिडिल मैनेजमेंट कैन से. आई वाज हेडिंग
अपर मिडिल मैनेजमेंट,
आई वाज हेडिंग बॉम्बे फॉर देम. एंड सो दैट वाज for me at that moment, that was the biggest challenge. So I quit I quit my job at that time, and I stayed in a joint family, and I didn't tell anyone.
You quit the job?
I quit the job without telling anyone that I quit the job.
Okay, sir.
Because I was aware कि कोई छोड़ने नहीं देगा.
Yeah.
Because that's the biggest problem. And
Right.
When things are going good, no one would like to do it, you know. And so that was my first step. After that, then obviously my family asked me, what do you want to do? I said I have no clue about it.
Yeah.
You know, because मेरे को मालूम ही नहीं था मेरे को करना क्या है. And because I came from the finance industry, I thought of doing a DSA, then a recruitment company. Lot of ideas आते रहते हैं, but ऐसे कुछ था नहीं कि करना ही करना है.
Okay.
Then my mentor, Mr. Prashant Bhosle, you know, he was my zonal manager in ICICI Bank, then my national manager. I met him. Then he said, "Hey, you should do something that with your age and experience now,
Okay.
you gain knowledge, and then you're paid for that knowledge, rather than you doing the sales throughout your life. You know, do something where knowledge is there, because knowledge is something will get you money. Money will never get you the knowledge. So that was the fundamental of which became my life fundamental later. So then again some soul searching started. Then I assisted my dad, my elder brother, my younger brother. I started going to office. It's a beautiful work that they have, but somehow मेरे को समझा नहीं, you know. So I think in some ways I'm a very stupid person. I could not understand a simple job, what it is, and it was quite complicated for me. So that went on for 2 years. So there was a lot of emotional journey that I went through, rather than a physical or a financial journey. It was more of an emotional journey that I was going through. So hota hai, you know, when your heart and mind is not alive.
We are going through that phase emotionally.
Yes. So just to add, I'm also youth. Okay, I'm not that
Yes,
old.
yes.
So just to add, I'm just 36 years old. I do look like 40, I guess.
No,
but I'm
no,
36. So I was roughly around 30 years at that time when that thought came into my mind. And then 2 years was total emotional journey of my life, having no clue what to do. Thinking, and then some people said that it would be more like a midlife crisis that you're going to do. You know, you think that you can change the world, you can add value to the world. A lot of people started questioning me, what are you thinking? Because there was no clarity.
Yeah.
And I'm not an impulse buyer. And the only purchase that I've ever done impulse was I purchased a Bhagavad Gita CD. When I was going to my dad's office, my elder brother's
Bhagavad Gita CD. Okay.
That was the only thing that I ever made an impulse purchase. And then while going to the office and going to my office at Bhiwandi every day up and down, I used to hear that CD every day. So roughly for a year I heard that CD. And then one day, I think because of the CD, the stress level reduces. I started getting a lot of clarity what I'm supposed to do. And one day in my thought only I got up thinking that I should get into mythology.
कि मतलब आप स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट के लिए आप वो सुन रहे थे, और आपने बाद में आप उसमें मतलब इंटरेस्ट आ गया.
करेक्ट. हाँ. So मैंने वो सीडी कोई पर्टिकुलर रीजन के लिए नहीं सुनी. मैंने सिर्फ, मेरे को पता नहीं, समथिंग अट्रैक्टेड मी टुवर्ड्स द सीडी एंड आई जस्ट स्टार्टेड हियरिंग दैट सीडी. सो देयर वाज नो पर्टिकुलर ऑब्जेक्टिव कि मेरे को इसकी वजह से सुनना है. बट समवेयर आई फील दैट, यू नो, देयर वाज अ लॉट ऑफ इनर पीस, बिकॉज़ व्हेन stress reduces, that is when the clarity increases in life.
Yes, yes, yeah.
And then one night only I got up with the thought that I should get into mythology.
Okay, sir.
So I got up, I thought I'll take the leap of faith. Again I approached my family that I want to get into training, mythology and all. So they said, very good, what does it mean? I said, I have no clue about it.
Okay.
Again I said, I have no clue. Then obviously, you know, because and I fundamentally believe if you have a dream, you know, and you want to do something bigger and something that no one has done, especially in your family now, the biggest hurdle is the family, the biggest hurdle. And no one wants you to chase your dream when there is no clarity. The parents, your wife, your kids, everyone becomes a hurdle for you. Not in a negative sense. They are more concerned about it.
Yeah.
You know, no one would want their kid to go through physical stress,
Mental
emotional stress,
yeah.
mental stress, spiritual stress. No one wants them to go through a hardship. You know, now I got 2 kids. Obviously, it is their life, whatever they want to do. But ideally, as a father, I would not like them to go through a lot of stress. So the parents, the family, everyone becomes a hurdle because they all want us to be protected in an environment that they feel is good enough for their child. But then, you know, I think that was the only stage where I was really sure what I want to do in my life, you know, because I spent 2 years just understanding what I want to do. So a lot of people do a mistake is that they feel they have an idea and they jump and they start doing that idea, you know, delivering, working on it. And after a couple of months only they realize कि नहीं जम रहा है, अभी छोड़ना चाहिए. Now, whenever we go for any session, whatever we do, whatever idea that first you get is not the best idea. Because I have an idea with myself, I should park it somewhere. And then I should start thinking more about it. Because right now I have an idea, so my stress is not that high. So I always knew कुछ नहीं हुआ तो कम से कम DSA डाल दूंगा, एक इक्विपमेंट कंपनी डाल दूंगा, नहीं तो डैड का बिजनेस उसमें चला जाऊंगा.
Like backup idea रहनी चाहिए.
Backup, हाँ, एक होना idea in the sense आपको, if you have one idea for example.
Okay.
So let's say tomorrow if you intend to manufacture coffee.
Okay.
For example, you feel like manufacturing coffee. So personally I feel you should not take it then and there because that's something impulse. Now you have an idea, so now park that idea somewhere and you start thinking of more and more ideas.
Okay.
Okay. Now because I had one idea for DSA or let's say getting into the finance industry, तो मुझे मानो तो मैं कुछ तो कर सकता हूँ.
Okay.
कुछ नहीं है तो मैं कुछ तो कर सकता हूँ. But that was because मैं कुछ भी कर सकता हूँ. That was not my option. So then I started thinking something bigger.
Bigger.
कि इससे ज़्यादा मैं क्या
Something
कर
bigger
सकता हूँ?
is more
Something bigger.
relevant.
Now,
Yeah.
because my stress reduces because I was sure I can do
More
something.
clarity.
More ideas started coming to me, and then this was one of the ideas.
तो सर मुझे आपको ये पूछना है कि नॉट ओनली यू नॉट ओनली मी सबको एक ही है कि फैमिली हर्डल जो आपने बोला इट इज़ द फैक्ट गाइज मतलब ये तो होता है तो आपने सर वो उस पर सोल्यूशन कैसे किया मतलब कैसे आपने वो टैकल किया.
So see, there are two things, you know, what I see a lot of people now, then they become a vagabond, then they become a hippie, and then they tell their family, this is what I want to do, I'll do, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, again, only the family will stand by you. So there are two options, either you cut off completely and then you chase your dream, but then when you're chasing a dream alone now, it doesn't give any satisfaction. And when there's someone with you, an entire family, your friends and everyone are there with you, then you have a lot of confidence that there's someone who believes in you.
Yeah.
And see, it is not about there being a hurdle, and again I'm saying negative sense,
Yeah.
but they are a hurdle, so the hurdle is giving me redirection. कि तू क्या सोच रहा है, क्या कर रहा है? Their questions led me to a lot of answers. So my first question my dad asked is, what do you want to do? So when I said a mythologist, he asked me, what does the mythologist do? I said, I don't know. So that I have to go back and find an answer of it. Then he asked me, okay, when will the money come? I said, again, I don't know. Then he said, कुछ तो time frame होगा. And I have no clue about it. But then he said, how can you, because I had 2 kids, I got a family, we have 14 people who stay together. He's like, कुछ तो बता. Then I said, okay, I need a year. Give me 1 year. If in 1 year things don't move on, then we'll figure out what to do. But you have to give me some time. And that entire 1 year, was again a lot of questions being asked to me by my family, by my cousins, by my friends and everyone. But never ever did I take it in a negative sense. Yes, obviously there would be frustration, there would be arguments, everything would be there. Because after a certain point you like to have a burst. But then those questions always led me to the next answer. And the next question led me to the next answer. And that is how the entire roadmap came. So my advice to everyone is if someone is asking a question now, we dodge it because we don't have an answer.
Yeah.
That is the only reason we dodge it. Okay, first is find that answer, because once you find that answer, one person will keep quiet, then the next person will come, then again. Finding answers is something that we need to start off with, So I go across India, length and breadth of India, in the last 3 years I've met honestly more than 7,000 to 8,000 people. They all walk up to me, most of them walk up to me in the break and said कि हमको भी आपके जैसे कुछ करना है, हमको भी business डालना है, ये करना है, वो करना है. The moment I ask क्या करना है, they don't have a clarity. So I don't intend to say that, I had clarity, nor did I have. But then how much are you perceiving it? What is your perseverance level? That decides it. एक idea होना चाहिए. उसके पीछे you have to give 100% of it. Perseverance should be the. I fundamentally believe The difference between a good career and a great career is perseverance. No one will believe in your dream till the time you believe in your dream. The moment you start believing in your dream is where people start believing in your dream.
Yes.
Success changes everything and everyone around you. Everything and everything around you. Everyone changes. It is not that they have changed as a person. It is because now they are happy. Now when they are happy for you, that means they will start changing.
Yes.
Their attitude changes, their work, their affection, everything changes. Because at the end of the day, only your work will speak. And only your work should speak basically. Nothing else should speak. So that's what I believe in,
Yeah,
जब आप
okay.
youngsters को भी अगर जैसे कह रहे youngsters के लिए message, first please have a dream, have a goal, what you want to do. Second is what you want to do, not what your parents, what your family, what your teachers, what you really want to do. In today's world, the time that you can spend with yourself is where you can find that answer. See, as you said, I'm a mythologist. Now this learning I got from Gautam Buddha. He had a lot of questions. He couldn't get any answer. So what did he do? He started meditating and he got all those answers within you from himself. That's a metaphor. Whatever questions you have now, the answers are within you only. You need to spend time with yourself. But what we do, we find those answers externally. And till the time the logic doesn't fit it, we again go back to them.
Yeah.
So I honestly,
Exactly, sir. Yes.
so that's majorly happened.
Yes.
So I stopped going and seeking advice from a lot of people. For last 1.5 years, I don't seek advice much from people because I start spending time with myself. And if I feel it's a correct decision, now I do not wait for validation because I know it's a correct decision or it's my decision at least, and it's well thought of it. So spend time with yourself. First, you should know yourself. What is your
Self-talking.
Self-talking. It is necessary. Self-talking.
Yeah.
You need to speak to yourself. So people might feel that you have lost it. You're mad. You're getting in isolation. But now you're trying to get in touch with you. So there's this very popular line which says that the soul should be the leader of the life and not the mind, because the mind is your biggest enemy as well as your best friend. But the issue in today's world is that the mind leads our life and the soul doesn't lead our life. And the moment you start listening to yourself is where you will get all those ideas and everything. Those 2 years when I was listening to Bhagavad Gita, when I was going into the articles and all, the only thing I did was I heard all those advices that came to me from my mind. I started capturing them left, right and center.
सर सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट,
No.
मुझे ये पूछना कि सर सोल मतलब एग्जैक्टली क्या होता है, उसका मीनिंग एंड क्या है? ये बहुत कम लोगों को पता है ना, सबको तो ये नहीं पता. हमें जस्ट इतना पता है सोलमेट दैट्स इट.
Correct.
तो एग्जैक्टली क्या होता है सोल?
So now abhi kya hai? So let's not get into more spirituality, but let's say there are two things. There is a conscious mind and there is a subconscious mind.
Yeah.
Now conscious mind would look at all logic and everything that will come into your mind,
Yeah.
all reasoning will take place. Subconscious mind at times has got no logic,
Okay.
and that is where you start listening to ideas. Now let's say for example, has it ever happened with you that you're sleeping at night,
Yeah.
you get up with a thought
Yeah.
and you have no clue what that thought is.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes it
Yeah,
happens.
yeah.
Then what do you do at that time? जो आपको स्ट्राइक नहीं था, लोग क्या करते हैं आपके ख्याल से?
मतलब मैं उस पर ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा सोचता हूँ कि वो याद आने के लिए कुछ क्या कर सकता हूँ.
और जब आप सोचते हो आप क्या करते हो? आप लेटे रहते हो?
हाँ.
Correct. Now a lot of people either they lie down, either they will be on WhatsApp, they'll check the phones,
Yeah.
and then they'll go to sleep.
Some type of distraction is always there.
Correct. Now what happens is that moment, when you are sleeping at night, that is where actually the soul is trying to talk to you. So ideally what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to get up. Please do not touch your mobile phones at that time because there will be a lot of distraction. You're supposed to get up, take a paper and take a pen. Start writing all the thoughts that are coming to you. The thought that was there now, you will not recollect also. Because even if you recollect, you don't know that's the same thought. Because the thought is already gone. You start writing down all those ideas. I used to do it, I still do it religiously. Whenever an idea, I always sit, I start writing it down. It is my guarantee, those thoughts will make no sense to you. 100% will make no sense to you. Okay, but in the coming 3-4 months, couple of months now, all the thoughts will put together. You will get a lot of clarity. That's your roadmap. This is what you're supposed to do. That is where the soul is starting to talk to you. Now, I'll give a very simple example. When, I saw a lot of people, when they jump the signal, they give $50 to a Havaldar. And they say, Pauti nahi dena. Which seems to be very common practice.
Very common.
Now, that's a logic mind says. But when the moment you come and sit inside now, you have a feeling that what you did was wrong. That is where the soul is talking to you.
Okay.
The soul will always give you direction, what is right, what is wrong, how much do we listen, how much we do not listen.
Okay. Yeah, yes.
You have seen that movie DDLJ?
Yes, DDLJ. सबने देखी है.
DDLJ देखी, सबने देखी है.
Yeah.
The success of that movie now is when Shah Rukh Khan sits with Farida Jalal and Kajol, and Farida Jalal says कि यहाँ पे तेरा प्यार कोई नहीं समझेगा, ये ले ज्वेलरी मेरी बेटी को लेके भाग जा. Then Shah Rukh Khan says over there कि हम लोग को ना जीवन में 2 ऑप्शन मिलते हैं एज पर हिज मदर, कि एक जो आपको बहुत अपनी तरफ अट्रैक्ट करेगा और जो बहुत आसान होएगा, बट माइट बी इन द लॉन्ग रन इट विल नॉट गिव यू द रिटर्न्स दैट यू आर लुकिंग एट. सेकंड, विच इज़ वेरी टफ, जो आपको आपसे दूर करते जाएगा. But that would be the
Not easy success.
Not easy, but that would be the right path.
Right path.
The entire DDLJ, entire India, entire world loved it because he could win over all the challenges that he had.
Yes,
He
yes.
always had an option, especially when the girl's mother is saying,
Mother
you
is-
go away. 99% people will take that option.
Yeah.
Girl आ गई, पैसे भी आ गए, सब कुछ आ गया. Okay, but still he goes for the tougher route, and that is what the soul searching and the, you can say, the subconscious and the conscious mind says.
Yes, yes.
That's
ओके
what-
तो वहाँ के तो गाइज यहाँ पे हमें 2 पॉइंट्स इम्पोर्टेंट मुझे लगे, जो कि फर्स्ट है सेल्फ टॉक करना चाहिए. सेल्फ एनालिसिस इज इम्पोर्टेंट.
Yes.
एंड सेल्फ टॉक में सर मतलब आप क्या मतलब जस्ट पेन लेके मतलब एग्जैक्टly करना
So
क्या
see, now there are 3 things that you need to ask yourself. Now there's something called a root cause analysis. That is 5 why.
Five?
5 why. 5
Five
times you're
why.
supposed to ask yourself.
Okay.
So let's say the first question when I asked myself is, why do I want to be a mythologist? So that give me that will give me one answer. So let's say it would be a very generic answer.
Okay.
So that because I love mythology. So why do you love mythology? Because I'm attracted to all my Purans. Why are you attracted to all your Purans? It gives me a lot of clarity in life. So why is that clarity required for you? So that I can grow as a human being. Now, why do you want to grow as a human being? So that I can add value to people's life. Now, the 5th why and the first why are totally different, the answers that you get. You should always get into the root cause analysis. Any work that you want to do, you should ask yourself at least 5 times, why do you want to do it? Mostly the 4th and 5th why now will take weeks, if not months, for you to come with a correct answer. Now, when you're doing the self-talk now, there's one thing that you please remember, you need to be honest to yourself, which will be the toughest part, being honest to yourself, because you'll always feel we have got the answer, which is not the fact.
Yeah.
You need to do the root cause analysis. Why do you want to do it? So let's say you're doing this series, so to get a deeper meaning to it, that why you're doing the series, you should spend time with yourself,
Yes.
asking questions. Why do you want to do it?
Yeah.
First answer, the second why is based on the first answer, the third why based on the second answer.
Yeah.
The moment you get the 5th why now, then you don't need any motivation. Then you're exactly clear what you want to do and why you want to do.
Yeah.
At those people, when you are clear with your concept and your vision now, everything then becomes a journey for you.
Yes, yes.
Then there are no challenges in your mind. But yes, the self-talk is
Very important,
because
yeah.
that will lead you to the goal of your life.
Yeah.
So there are 2 things that people always ask is, what is the purpose of my life and what is the goal? Now, it could be same, it could be different. Now, goal would be I need a good family, let's say family is there, a good house and everything. Now, that's
Good
not
car, good job.
Yes, materialistic.
Yeah.
Purpose could also be, but what is the purpose? It's more of a journey, and it's more of a journey that you have. Work will get you money, 100%. The more and more you work, the more and more money you get. But if you're stuck at the money point now, you never get the work nor the money. Lot of time in the corporates that we go, some people say, "Sir, इतने काम में इतना पगार, इतने पगार में इतना ही काम मिलेगा." Fair enough. इतने पगार में इतना ही काम मिलेगा, तो इतने काम में इतना ही पगार मिलेगा. वो भी एक fact of life है. If you want more money now, work is the only way to do it.
Only way.
You need to work more and more,
Work
more
hard.
and more, more and more. The scripture, whatever I have gone through, or various things, now says only one thing: reward for good work is more work. There is no
Reward for good work is
more
more
work.
work.
और अच्छा काम करोगे और काम मिलेगा.
और काम मिलेगा.
जितना आप काम
Yes,
करते हो
sure,
उतना
sir.
आपको पैसा मिलते जाएगा. Lot of people chase money. A lot of people will chase money, which is good. I'm not saying no. मैं कभी नहीं बोलता some more money because it is required. I know the importance of money. I've been a phase when money was not there in my wallet. Money is very important. Money is very important, but not at the cost of your work. So initially when I started, I used to reject projects stating कि इतना पैसा दो करूँगा. But then मेरे पैसा भी नहीं आ रहा, काम भी नहीं आ रहा. Then I said okay, project तो दो, पैसा देखा जाएगा. And then more and more work also started coming, and more money started
Then
coming.
slowly transformation होता है. And the guys second point ये था कि regarding ideology, जो thoughts आते हैं वो continuously on a paper लिखना चाहिए.
Correct.
Yes sir.
Correct. So just to add on it, so
Yeah.
you need to write it down, not type on your mobile phone. Because when you're typing on the mobile phone, that is data feeding. आप एक idea को आप feed करके data आप mobile में किधर capture करते हो.
Yeah.
But the moment you start writing down on a piece of paper now, all your thoughts flow, it will start coming out. Then there's no stopping. Then it will, you might write rubbish 3-4 pages also. But वो क्या कहते हैं ना, वो कमल भी कीचड़ में खिलता है. वो उसके अंदर ही एक idea है. अभी आपको वापस you can revisit.
Okay.
So I personally suggest that people should write down rather than typing it on the computer or on your mobile.
Yeah. So now sir, going to the second session, it is regarding motivation. Sir, you are a motivational mythologist. So sir, first of all, very few students knows about mythology. So sir, can you describe कि what is mythology? बहुत कम लोगों को मतलब पता है.
Okay, so there are 2 ways of looking at the books that we have. First, I'll start with a religious disclaimer. That's my standing always, starting always.
Okay.
I'm not promoting any religion, thought process, belief. Your belief is correct. Your belief in your religion, my belief in my religion, everyone is correct. So what I do in mythology, I pick up stories.
Okay.
And every story has a concept. So let's say if I do a Mahabharata, Ramayana, Bhagavad Gita, Vishnu Puran, Shiv Puran, Bhagavatam, all those books, all those beautiful books have got a lot of stories. So Bible also got a lot of stories, Quran has got a lot of stories, the Noble Quran has stories, the great Prophet Muhammad has got a lot of learnings from him, Jesus has a lot of stories, Buddha has, Granth has, all these people have stories. All those stories have learnings. Now it's like a moral science class. There's a story and there's a moral of the story.
Okay.
But what has happened unfortunately is that people have got stuck to only the stories. So when someone asked me in a session, what do you think, did Ram exist? I said, I don't know. And honestly, it's my belief he existed. But if you believe he didn't exist, we both can survive together. But that character has got a lot of learnings. Lord Ram has got a lot of learning.
Learnings,
The great Prophet Muhammad has got a lot of learning. Jesus has got a lot of learning. Granth has got a lot of learning. Focus on the learning rather than whether it's true or false. It doesn't make much of a difference, And the learnings help us today solve most of our problem. Now, so last month only I did a session for a college in Pune. So we addressed a crowd of 1,000 and we explained them the management lessons via Mahabharata and management lessons via Bhagavad Gita. So we focus on the concepts. If this is the story, this is the concept. What is the reason behind it? What the story happened? So right now there was Ganesh Chaturthi also. So I went to 3 places. So I've designed this mythological house. I prepared a lot of board games also with respect to mythology, where we try explaining them those concepts. So once we did a workshop for a company called NTPC, that's a National Corporation. So for them we did a coffee with Krishna. So we had all those kids. We had a
coffee with Krishna.
So we came up with a coffee with Krishna concept. So where we had all these fancy dress thing happening, dance competition happening. And 2 kids were playing the role of Krishna, where a lot of learning from Bhagavad Gita was there. And then somehow we managed an entire stage setup for them, and then we did it. We focus on learnings. I don't get into the discussion whether it's real or not. Even in Quora, if you go to my page, that will be only metaphors. I always pick up a question and I say, okay, this is my understanding from this story.
Yes.
And the metaphor is always there. And I think a lot of people who interact with me, if they're not from my religion, or let's say any religion, they like interacting is because I feel I'm very unbiased towards it, I don't say कि मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ या ये religion में बोला करना ही चाहिए. Everyone is true in their own sense.
So guys, ये important point है, चाहे आप कौन से भी धर्म के हो या कोई भी, it is not the thing. The thing is कि how you are learning from it. and आप उससे क्या learning लेते हो, क्या सीखते हो और उसका मतलब social life में आप क्या effect दिखाते हो या आप पे effect होता है, ये important.
True, that is very important.
तो सर अभी ये जो माइथोलॉजिकल आप मोटिवेशनल स्पीक करते हो, तो हाउ इट विल हेल्प टू अस?
सी माय अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ
मतलब कैन वी कंट्रोल आवर माइंड और वी कंट्रोल आवर बैड थिंग्स, और मतलब इन व्हाट सेंस इट विल हेल्प अस?
सो आई एक्सप्लेन यू. हैव यू एवर टेकन अ फ्लाइट?
या.
हैव यू एवर नोटिस जब कोई फ्लाइट में लोग बैठते हैं ना, जैसे फ्लाइट टेक ऑफ हो रहा तो लैंड होता रहना, दे सडनली क्लोज देयर आईज एंड दे स्टार्ट प्रेइंग.
ओके.
हैव यू एवर नोटिस? डज इट हैपन?
Okay. Yeah, in movies also they are.
In movies also happen, but in real life also a lot of people sitting next to me now, they'll start praying like this, they'll remember the Almighty, and then they're settled. Now what has happened is, now if you over here I'll just talk about specifically about the how they have mapped our mind. जैसे अभी आपने मेरे को mind का पूछा, stress का पूछा, all these various forms of gods are actually they have mapped our mind. So if I need money, I need to think of Lakshmi. If I'm scared, I think of Hanuman. So when that person is sitting in the plane, when negative thoughts enter his mind, so that could be as bad as a crash, that could be a hijack, anything. He suddenly prays to the Almighty, in whichever form he wants to, be it Allah, be it Jesus and all, and then he's relaxed. And then he's very happy. So there was one gentleman, aged person, I asked him, "Kya hua, uncle?" But then I thought of my God, so now nothing will go wrong. So I said, "So what is the pilot doing?" He said, "Don't make fun of it." There was a negative thought that entered my mind, and now I'm positive about it. Now that is what actually the mythology, or that is what spirituality is all about. You can divert your mind. Now mind is, as I said earlier, it's a friend or your enemy. How do you control your mind? Now that is a trick. A lot of people feel, you cannot control your mind. My grandfather, he was 84 when he passed away. So when he was 80, 81, I clearly remember having this conversation with him. I said, it's really good to see you're hale and hearty, you're walking on your own and everything. But how do you manage it? Because it's something unbelievable. He said that people feel that if you have a healthy body, you'll live longer. Well, it's a myth. It will never happen like this. If you are healthy mind, then you'll live longer. Because it is the mind who actually controls your entire body. Now, even if you go to Buddha, he also stated you become what you can think. Now this is research done by Dr. Emoto. He's a Japanese scientist. You can figure it out later in detail about him. So he said, if the whatever I speak to myself is exactly the water molecules will behave. So if I think positive, my body will react in a positive manner. If I think negative, my water molecules
I saw that
will
video.
behave.
So yes, yes.
So it's all about believing in yourself. All these scriptures, these books, everything it helps me is giving me that positive thought. Okay, what can go wrong or what has gone wrong in history, and what were the repercussions of it, and how they moved on towards it. So it gives me a lot of insight.
Yeah, depending on the energy, the H2 molecule structure will be changed.
Correct. So what happens now? You were also talking about the conscious and subconscious mind. A lot of time people open a book. So it could be any book, any scripture book. They start opening. They start reading, and after 3-4 pages they close the book. And then I ask them, why did you leave? Well, हमको समझा ही नहीं. It's too complicated for me. It's too heavy for me. Now those books are not for my conscious mind. My conscious mind will never understand those books, because I started applying logic on page 1. But there's a possibility the answer would be on page number 120, 140, 150. I'm just supposed to read those books without understanding, without putting so much focus कि ये word का मतलब क्या है. You just keep reading. You start understanding. Those data gets captured in the subconscious mind. The moment your subconscious mind becomes more active, your soul gets more active now, you start getting a lot of peace, inner peace. Your negativity starts releasing out of your body, and that is where you start shifting from a positive to a positive side. These scriptures, these books, any books, I'm not talking about a particular religion, any book is just about believing in yourself. And these books will give you a lot of guidance. How do you believe in yourself? How are you more and more positive about yourself? And how to do it. That's it. Control your mind.
सर अभी आप यहाँ पे अभी इतना यूथ के लिए हम ये कर रहे हैं, तो आप कुछ टिप्स देना चाहेंगे सर हमें कि हाउ टू कंट्रोल आवर माइंड, हाउ टू गेट अवे फ्रॉम द बैड थिंग्स एंड कंट्रोल इट.
So see, first I would so I'm not going to tell you I'm not going to give you a tip which I've not done or which I don't believe in.
Okay.
First is at least spend half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours with yourself. This exercise you might have to do once in your life, for example. But sit alone, take a paper and pen, okay, and write down 15 to 20 good memories about your life. So it could be your grades, you got good result, some vacation,
trips,
your trips, or you can say your promotion, your first job, first salary, or your first anniversary with someone special, whatever it is. Those 15, 20, your first love, 15, 20 good memories, only good memories, like a headline. Newspaper में कैसे headline आती है, and because we are from that generation ना, जो लिफाफा देख के समझ जाते हैं खत में क्या लिखा है. Our generation is a WhatsApp generation. We will not even scroll down the WhatsApp to read the entire message. जितना एक में फिट आएगा उतना फिट आएगा. So those 15 to 20 points should be on one page. Okay, those 15-20 liners. Take a photograph of it. Now this is something where you have to put a conscious effort initially.
Okay.
It took me roughly around 3 to 4 months to get hang of it, but it takes time. Okay, but it will 100% happen. Now what happens when there's a negative thought that has entered my mind? Now again, my mind will multiply those negative thoughts very quickly. But positive thought आता है जाता है पता भी नहीं चलता mind को, because by nature human beings get attracted to negativity. Okay, it is our nature, it is inbuilt in us. Now for example, you drink Pepsi, Thumbs Up, Coca-Cola, McDonald's and all, very good. Do you drink karele ka juice regularly?
No.
Which is good for health?
Karele ka juice.
Very nice. See, we are by taste, by habit, by thought process, everything we like negativity, everything. Even if you look at programs like Roadies or Big Boss, it's all negative. सबको अच्छा लगता है दूसरे के घर में क्या हो रहा है. Now if someone will say you should watch Astha and Epic, they'll say क्या boring, because there is no negativity over there. So when the negative thought enters, it will multiply. Now this is the trick of the game. Now when a negative thought enters, I need to look at that page, I need to read those 15 points again and again, and start living those 15 points again and again. Because till the time my hope and my positivity is more, then only I'll be able to win over negativity. And it takes time, because at times I forgot only that I've clicked the photograph, at times I forgot to carry the page. But when you put a conscious effort, that is where the game starts changing. Now for example, my mind exactly knows how that uncle was there. A negative thought I have to remember the Almighty. The similar way my mind exactly knows if there's a negative thought, which all 15-20 stories I need to revisit. I can keep changing those stories.
These guys, we have to engineer our brain.
Yes, you have to, because even if you get up at let's say 3 o'clock, there will be a thought in your mind. There are only two times when a thought is not there in the mind. Either I'm dead or I'm in coma. Otherwise the mind will always have a thought. Now it depends upon me, how do I channelize my mind?
Okay.
That is by feeding positive data again and again, again and again, again and again. That is how it happens.
Okay.
So let's say you have a goal,
Yeah.
you're working towards that target, you're working towards your dream, you're working towards your goal. You will have a lot of challenges, lot of hurdles. And if there are no challenges or hurdles now, that means you're not dreamt big enough.
Yeah.
First point. Now during those hurdles now, your mind needs to think positive.
Yeah.
You need to be convinced to the core that this is something that you have dreamt of. This is something that is going to happen. So all those 15 points that I had written was what will happen when I achieve this step? What will happen when I'll achieve this goal? So that dream, that hope, that vision was very clear with me.
Yeah.
And that is where whenever negative thought came, I took it as opportunities or as challenges. You know, Bill Gates also says your unhappy customers lead you to success. Even if you go to Abdul Kalam Sahab also, he would also say don't be afraid of challenges. See, now there are three aspects of a man's life. There would be health, wealth and relationship. There are only three aspects of a life. And at any given moment in time now, there would be problem in one of the bucket. There would be 100% problem in one of the three buckets.
We have to manage it.
So there are problems. Accept it, there are problems. And you're not the only one. You know, if your health is good today, so either you'll have a financial problem or there would be some relationship problem. If your health and wealth is good today, a relationship problem. If your relationship and wealth is good, there's a health problem. Either with me or the people surrounding me.
Yeah.
First is accept it. Okay, there will be problems and challenge every moment of your life. Acceptance leads to peace. So a lot of time now, people say don't expect from life, which is very wrong. It cannot happen and it should not happen. Expectation should be there, you know. But also accept the result of life. Whatever is happening now, please accept it. After that, then you know how do you transform your mind. A lot of time the war is between acceptance only. कैसा मेरे साथ क्यों हुआ? अभी हो गया ना, अभी क्या कर सकता है?
बुरा फील करते हैं कुछ लोग कि एक्सेप्ट किया तो लोग क्या बोलेंगे, मेरे घर वाले क्या सोचेंगे. Sometimes, yeah.
Now taking the cue from you, सब कहते हैं दुनिया में सबसे बड़ा रोग मेरे बारे क्या कहेंगे लोग.
Yes.
The moment you cross this hurdle now, it doesn't make any difference in life. You have to be shameless to be successful in life.
Yeah.
You have to be absolute shameless. The moment you stop thinking what people think about you now, that is where growth lies.
सर मुझे एक पॉइंट ऐड करना ऐसा लग रहा है कि एनवायरनमेंट गाइस आल्सो प्लेज अ वेरी गुड पार्ट, मतलब रिगार्डिंग पॉजिटिव एनर्जी. अभी एक रिसर्च था उनमें ऐसा कि जेनेटिक्स जनरली ऐसा कहा जाता है कि आपके जेनेटिक्स मैटर करता है कि आप क्या बनने वाले हो. बट उन्होंने ये कहा कि आपका जेनेटिक्स भी वो तो है, बट नाउ इन दिस आवर 21st सेंचुरी एनवायरनमेंट आल्सो मैटर्स. कि इफ यू आर विथ नेगेटिव माइंडेड पीपल और नेगेटिव एनर्जेटिक पीपल, देन आप वैसे ही बनोगे. अब यू हैव अ पॉजिटिव environment with you always, then positive way में transform होगा.
So see, I'll tell you one thing now, just because what you said, I'll just add a point to it. Success will never come to you what you do from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. It will never ever come to you. Okay, success comes to you what you do from 6 p.m. to 9 a.m. It is about 24 hours. How are you spending your time? At office is just a byproduct for you. You know, that is the result of your entire day, how you have spent it. People say there's a personal life, there's a professional life. There's nothing like that. That's what I feel. There's only one life. I got 24 hours to spend. In that, I have to sleep, I have to take care of my health, I have to take care of my family, I have to spend quality time. Networking is very important. You know, social media is very important. I'll never say social media is not important. But whom are you following on social media is more important. Now, for example, if I follow Bombay Times, you know, and I'm not in Bollywood, for example, it will not give me that amount of knowledge that is required at my work. But if I follow Economic Times, I read those articles, it will give me the knowledge that is required for my industry. Yeah. It depends which industry. The Bollywood knowledge is also important because at times you need a lot of topics to have a good conversation with a lot of people. But which channel are you following? Which page are you following? With whom are you interacting? That is very important in life. The people you're surrounded with will actually either elevate you or bring you down. And trust me guys, everyone in India, especially I feel, is a PhD holder. Everyone is a PhD holder. The full form is pull him down, pull her down. So if someone you would like to do something like this, they'll say, "Pagal hai kya? Rende, what takleef?" And people will start. One person wants to deliver. Now there are hundreds of people pulling him down. It's like the crab attitude. Pull him down, pull her down. Everyone is a PhD holder. No one wants you to be successful in life. No one, and I can say it very clearly. No one wants you to be successful in life to the extent that you want to be. If you believe in yourself, chase your dream. If you don't believe in yourself, you will never achieve your dream. Everything boils down to you. There will be problems, there will be issues, there will be challenges, because I fundamentally believe God and time both will test before giving you that success, whether you really want it or you don't want it. See, there's a difference called fashion and fad. You know, fashion is something that is for a longer duration, like a jeans. You know, someone will wear a slim fit, regular fit, low waist, high waist, toned jeans. That's in fashion. That's for a long period of time. Fad is something short term. आएगा जाएगा.
आएगा तब तक के लिए किया फैशन मतलब फैड किया
तो nail art is a fad, shimmering is a fad, all these things are fad. किया नहीं किया. You've seen the movie Laksh.
Yeah,
In Laksh, na first couple of minutes only na, Hrithik Roshan says, "Hi, even I want to get into army. Even I want to do MP." No, that is because that's a fad. Someone else is saying.
Doing, yeah.
But the moment he realizes that he wants to be in army, na, there is no stopping. That moment has to come. That will come only if you spend time with yourself.
Okay.
And you need to spend time with yourself to realize what you want to do in your life. And that is where you start growing in life. That's what my belief is.
सर मुझे नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन ये है कि अभी जनरली कैसा होता है कि यूथ बिकॉज ऑफ द स्ट्रेस ऑफ द एजुकेशन, स्ट्रेस ऑफ द रिलेशनशिप्स, स्ट्रेस ऑफ द मैनी थिंग्स, ऐसा होता है कि कभी कभी रात को मतलब बहुत सारे यूथ में नींद के प्रॉब्लम आ रहे हैं. किसको नींद लगती है, किसको नहीं लगती है. एंड समटाइम मतलब तो नींद जो एक मेंटल पीस कहते हैं, तो आप सर कुछ टिप्स है मेंटल पीस के लिए, हाउ टू अचीव मेंटल पीस एंड हैव अ गुड स्लीप, हैव अ हेल्दी स्लीप.
ओके, फर्स्ट तो पिक्चर भी बाकी है मेरे दोस्त, ये सब तो कुछ भी नहीं है. सी यूजुअली अ मैन्स लाइफ ना, if you had a normal childhood, normal college and everything, you know, when they're working also, so today also when we ask a 50-year-old guy, 40-year-old guy, which was the best phase of your life, they always say childhood. Everyone will say childhood. It is because there was no financial responsibility on you at that time. My life starts becoming complicated when there's financial responsibility on you. You know, if it's at the age of 50, it becomes complicated. If it's at the age of 30, it becomes complicated. Till now, whatever you're going through now is a learning stage. It will happen and it should happen also.
Yeah.
You know, so breakups happen. Breakup के बाद आप ऊपर वापस आते हो. Then Baba Amir Khan has said, one will go, second will come for both the genders. Life will keep on moving, happening. Now, first coming to sleep, you know, your mobile phone is the biggest distraction. Yeah. Okay, the accessibility of people at night has become a big challenge. Earlier, the accessibility of people were not there. You know, सब आते थे, पिक्चर देखते थे, सो जाते थे, मैक्स टू मैक्स. बट नाउ इवन इफ you know, let's say 3 days back, I was stuck, rains ka tha, I was stuck at an airport at Rajkot because the flights got cancelled over in Mumbai. So I was stranded at the airport, so there was nothing to do. So 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I checked into the Facebook Messenger and there were like more than 150 people available to chat. Now, why would a person sleep then at that time?
Yeah.
You know, that is the reason. First, and
Distraction.
And fundamentally now, please remember one thing in life. Everything starts with you and ends with you in this life. So let's say I'll ask you a simple question. Who is the most important person in your life for you?
My mom.
Correct. So someone will say mom, dad, wife, kids and all. All those people are second. You have to be the most important person for yourself. Now if you're not hale and hearty, you'll not be able to take care of your mom. If you're not earning good, you'll not be able to spend money on her. Whenever you take a flight, the instruction is very clear. In case of emergency landing, first take care of yourself, then you take care of the other person.
Yeah.
You're not getting sleep, it's purely because of your mind. Because your mind has got a lot of distractions available. But you need to realize how responsible you need to be. You need to take care of your health yourself. So coming back to sleep, first I feel that you need to fight your biggest distraction, whichever is your biggest distraction at that time. And then you need, then obviously it's no rocket science. And you obviously you fight your distraction, you'll be able to sleep properly. But coming to peace, now peace is very subjective. Now if someone is not earning, how can he be peaceful? When someone's family member is in hospital, how can he or she be peaceful? It is a very subjective term. Ideally, we are chasing the wrong thing. You will never get peace. Therefore we say rest in peace. Yeah. Because you'll never get peace. And as I earlier said, accept whatever is happening. Acceptance leads to your satisfaction and peace. There's no other reason. Now, for example, if I'm doing good and something's wrong with my daughter, how can I be at peace? And then it's easy to say, be at peace. No one is at peace. No one. 3 buckets, one problem in all the 3 buckets, it will be there at any given time. When you are chasing something wrong, therefore that is a major problem. The mind will follow the question that you give. Now you're chasing a question is, how will I get peace? That is only when you rest in peace. That is the only answer. Okay. So the mind is, how do I keep myself balanced? That is the right question. Okay, it's either not by reacting or not getting frustrated. Now that is again a lot of self-talk. Trying to control your senses, trying to control your negative thoughts, moving towards positivity, whatever happens. But the biggest factor that has helped me is accepting what has happened.
Okay.
Accept whatever has happened, because there's nothing you can change. Your future will be given birth by what you're doing today. That's the only thing that matters. Okay. Focus on today, your future will change tomorrow. Okay. Accept it. That's it. So there's nothing, to chase peace in that. Okay. That will give you a satisfaction at least, and that will give you a balance in life. What do you do with it? That's it. I don't think so. Don't chase peace. Very soon other will rest in peace.
So sir, moving to the next session of our this episode कि regarding आप सर आप spiritual speaker भी हो ना?
Correct.
So first of all हमें बताइए कि ये अभी mythology का आपने बताया कि ये mythology, first of all what is spirituality and what is the difference between mythology and spirituality?
So let's in mythology we pick up a story, we pick up a reference from some Puran or some epic and we discuss over it. In spirituality it's more generic, so it's more of connecting inward, okay, and then connecting outward. In mythology, let's say
कुछ example दे.
Okay, so let's say if I discuss mythology for a moment, so we'll take a concept of a Chakravi. What does the Chakravi represent? You know, what does the Abhimanyu represent, or what would the Draupadi Chirharan represent, or what would be the burning of Ravan represent? Now that's a mythological story. It has to be from an epic, it has to be from a story, and then we come to the learning from it. Spirituality is, as you rightly said, you know, attaining of peace. How do you balance your senses? How do you look inward to see outward? That is more of spirituality, and that is what we focus on. So when we speak on spirituality, we, again, as you asked me earlier, repeating the point again, we focus more on accepting. Spirituality is basically knowing what to do when things are not going in your favor. जब आपकी लाइफ में कुछ उल्टा सीधा होता है, and then also you're in that state of mind to control your mind and do something that is required for the situation. According to me, that is spirituality. For that, you need a lot of inner strength to do it. So there's a story which really, you know, gave me a lot of insight. So this is about my mother. So my nanny had passed away. So when my nanny passed away, that day only, it was my younger sister-in-law's birthday. And that was her first birthday after marriage. She went, my mother obviously went to her mom's base, you know, so वापस सब आए हुए थे रिश्तेदार. Afternoon, but she said, you know, घर पे सब आओ, केक कट करना है. और हम लोग सब थोड़ा हिल गए कि मानो अभी नानी की डेथ हुई है, ये केक कटिंग है, और मम्मी बोल रही है जिनकी मॉम की डेथ हुई है, बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली अ पर्सन इज लॉस्ट हिज मॉम विल अंडरस्टैंड इट्स अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन एंड डिफिकल्ट टास्क टू बी. शी केम बैक होम, वापस केक कट किया, सब कुछ किया, एंड देन शी अगेन वेंट बैक. एंड आफ्टर 2-3 days आई आस्क्ड हर, यू नो, ये क्या था, ये बताओ, हाउ डिड यू डू दिस? शी सेड कि बिकॉज वो भी हो गया, अभी क्या कर सकते हैं, यू नो, दैट हैज हैपेंड, नाउ यू हैव टू एक्सेप्ट इट. लाइफ में अभी माई मॉम इज नॉट देयर, बट फॉर हर इट्स अ फर्स्ट बर्थडे आफ्टर मैरिज. It's usually supposed to be very special and everything. I don't want to spoil her day. Now that is what I'm supposed to do. Now this is something for me is a, you know, epitome of spirituality. No one can do it without having so much self-control within. You know. Now she might not be religious, but she's highly spiritual. So there's a lot of difference in spirituality. So people feel कि अगर आप मंदिर मस्जिद जाते हो या गुरुद्वारा जाते हो या करते हो तो आप spiritual हो. No, I don't think so. That is what spirituality is. Spirituality is mean controlling your senses. And that is what I think I've learned from my mom, you know. So whatever situation is, how do you keep yourself balanced and how do you work towards it so that you can add value that particular moment in someone else's life, controlling all your negativity. Okay. So that's what spirituality is for me.
सर अभी जितने भी हम बड़े लोग देखते हैं, they all have some spiritual background. सब बोलते हैं कि एक spiritual level या मतलब एक spiritual background होना चाहिए या किस पे एक भरोसा चाहिए भगवान पे. तो सर अभी ये जो हमारा यूथ, अभी जो हमारा टाइम है, मोस्टली इट इज़ ऑल ऑन साइंस डिपेंडेंट. सो बहुत कम लोग हैं जो दे आर मतलब भगवान को मानते हैं, एंड ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा साइंस ने ऐसे मतलब वो ट्रेंड ही हमारा भी ऐसा है कि भगवान को कम मानने वाले. फिर कोई भी रहने, मतलब हिंदू रहने तो मुस्लिम, एनी रिलीजन, तो थोड़ा सा कम हुआ है, बट फिर भी कैसे स्पिरिचुअल लेवल हम मेंटेन करें.
सी नाउ देयर आर टू थिंग्स. अभी अगर आप मैस्लो की थ्योरी भी पढ़ते हो, यू स्टार्ट मूविंग टुवर्ड्स फ्रॉम योर बेसिक नीड्स, यू गो टू सेल्फ एक्चुअलाइजेशन. दैट वाज द मैस्लो थ्योरी आल्सो. सिमिलरली ना दिस थॉट विल कम टू एवरीवन. It is not since childhood that I always believe कि यही करना है. But a moment comes in one's life where you realize that some source is there or some force is there who's bigger than you. You know, अभी 2 lines है. For example, जो कहते हैं ना शायरी टाइप होती है, तो एक which really influenced me since childhood was first is like खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से खुद पूछे बता तेरी रज़ा क्या है. You can design your own destiny. That is one part. Second is मुद्दई लाख बुरा चाहे तो क्या होता है, वही होता है जो मंजूर खुदा होता है. At the end of the day, you can design your destiny, you know. But at the end of the day, the will of God will always come into the picture. You have to experience it. Now, all these people that you see now, who are at the CEO level or global level, or who are very satisfied or successful in life now, so they try to connect with themselves, their emotions. That is why spirituality also comes into the picture. They do a lot of meditation. Now, there might be science behind it, there might be religious behind it. That's a different story. For me, again, I'm saying, I'm not asking, or I'm not saying people you should be religious. I'm saying you should be spiritual. Spiritual is connecting with yourself. Now, there's a very popular saying which says कि खुदा सबके अंदर है, भगवान सबके अंदर है, सबके अंदर सब कुछ है. Spend time with yourself. You'll automatically get spiritual. You know, I know a lot of atheists who don't believe in God, but they believe that there is some source within them. You know, some source within them. They will not say it's God, but there's something within them. They try to connect with that. It could be anyone. You know, it could be a source also, because he कहते हैं ना अंगना रंगना रूप. So there's the God is unseen. You know, you cannot see God. But if I feel it is within me, then I need to connect with myself. That is spirituality. All these people now spend time with themselves on various levels, either meditation or counseling or psychometric tests, but they keep identifying about their own plus and minus point. They do their own SWOT analysis. They do identify their own blind spot. That exactly is what spirituality is also. Knowing yourself, identifying your area of improvement, rectifying those things, and then you keep moving on.
Yes.
Now that's something called dua कहते हैं ना, dua में याद रखना. So DUA is what dua. D stands for discovers. Discover everything about yourself. U stands for understanding whatever you could about yourself. And A is application. Whatever you have discovered, once you're convinced about it, you start applying also. If I speak and I don't apply, it doesn't make any sense. So therefore, whatever I've told you till now about, it can be the writing, it can be listening to yourself, it can be walk your talk, and self-talk, whatever. It is because I've done it, I've realized the power of it, and it has changed my life. Not only mine, for millions and billions of people will give the same input only. It could be from the concept, The Secret, it could be Abdul Kalam Sahab, it could be Steve Jobs, it could be Bill Gates, it could be anyone. But at the end of the day, we will say, believe in yourself, and first you decide what you want to be.
Then implement it.
Then implement. That is at the end of the day.
देखिए सेकंड स्टेप जो है इम्प्लीमेंटेशन है, बहुत लोग भूल जाते हैं सर.
Correct.
मतलब फर्स्ट वो एक मोटिवेशनल जब वीडियो देखते हैं, जो भी एक 5 मिनट के लिए दे आर एनर्जेटिक, बट बाद में वो अप्लाई नहीं करते, तो वो बाद में बोलते कि वो फिर से वीडियो देखने के लिए जाते हैं दूसरा. सो इट इज नॉट द थिंग गाइस, आपको इम्प्लीमेंट तो करना ही पड़ेगा.
करेक्ट. एंड इम्प्लीमेंट में क्या है ना, सो देयर इज अ वेरी पॉपुलर कोट ऑफ रॉबिन शर्मा. If you want to implement anything in life now, you have to do it for 21 consecutive days. Once you do anything for 21 consecutive days, now it will become part of it will become your habit. You know, so even if you drive a car, ride a bike and everything, it comes to with practice only. The biggest challenge, as you rightly said, is implementation. So most of the sessions that we go now, and especially, see what happened, I'm a 36-year-old guy. So a lot of people who attend my sessions on mythology or spirituality are quite elder. They're like 50, 60, 70, 80 years old. So the only thing they tell me is that I know more than you. You know, so, and the challenge is not knowledge, the challenge is implementation. जो आप बोल रहे हो तो हम सबको पता है. And by the time you're 20, 21 now, your maturity level is good enough to understand life. So they say, I know how to implement, now you tell me that. But implementation is because of two things. First, as you rightly said earlier now, how are you spending time with like-minded people? That is where implementation comes into the picture.
Yes.
Now for example, let's say, I can get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning if I have to work and catch a flight. But if you tell me to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning for a walk now, I might not get up. Let's assume my wife also doesn't like to go for a walk. Correct? One day, both of us decide that we'll go for a walk. Next morning, we'll get up at 7 o'clock, we'll go for a walk.
Yes.
What are the chances of we both going for a walk?
Very less.
Very less. Next day morning, we'll get up and we'll say, alarm किसने नहीं लगाया? It will come to us because both of us don't intend to go for that walk. But let's say, you know, my wife is very strict. She says that I have to go for a walk, and she ensures that next day morning I get up at 7 o'clock. Even if I don't like it, I'll have to go for that walk, because right now I'm spending time with the person who wants to go for that walk. You know, so how are you spending time with like-minded people is very important.
Yes.
So if you want to leave cigarette, you have to spend time with non-smokers. If you want to leave alcohol, you have to spend time with non-alcoholics. You know.
Yes.
So in banking industry, a lot of time people would be like 4 pegs down and then say, you know, आज तो मैंने दारू छोड़ने की है. वो होता ही नहीं है. Next day morning, everything comes back to normal. Now again, I'll tell you, so I'm a non-alcoholic, I'm a non-smoker. But I was a hardcore non-vegetarian. Coming to it, to implementation, the moment I realized I need to leave non-veg, because that was something that no one around me or even I could think of leaving. But the moment I decided I want to leave, there were a lot of pressures on me, you know, from family, friends. They said, "Kya बैठे? You don't smoke, you don't drink, you don't eat non-veg also. Why should I sit with you?" So a lot of things happened. But because I was firm on it, you know, and I told myself, you just need to do it for 2 months. If you can do it for 2 months now, then I don't think so you'll ever have non-veg. And now it's nearly 2 years, I've not even tasted non-veg. It comes with only discipline, it comes with only self-conviction and spending time with the right set of people. So initially when I started going out with those friends who were hardcore non-vegetarians, spending time with those vegetarian friends, once I got control of my senses, then I started spending time with everyone. Now it doesn't affect me anymore. So that is like-minded people, spending time, discipline, and you need to again self-talk. And why you want to do it, the reason should be clear. Why do you want to do it? If you're not clear with the reason why you want to do it, you never achieve it. The moment that why is clear now, whatever happens, all the excuses are gone in the trash. It will never come back.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Yeah. So guys, this is it for this show. Sir, thank you for coming in our show once again.
Pleasure, Salman.
And really thanks.
Pleasure. And all the best.
तो गाइज हमें आज व्हाट इज़ मीन बाय माइथोलॉजी, स्पिरिचुअलिटी, ये पॉइंट्स हमें आज क्लियर हुए एंड उसका वी विल डेफिनेटली सर अप्लाई टू आवर लाइफस्टाइल. Really, thank you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So guys, this is it for today's show. Peace.
Thank you.